podcast, hosted by Jordan, Gabby, and Shayna, 3 friends who needed a creative outlet, wanted to get together and have a good time, and talk about the thrills, spills, and realness of motherhood.
Welcome to Mama Juice.
All right, we're back. Hello. Mama Juice is back. It's been a while.
Yeah, we're going to get right into it. Okay, well, let's do a cheers.
Let's do a cheers. I'm in my Pam pants.
Our first one of 2025.
Yes.
And we will do good this year.
And we're
together.
we're talking. Yeah, we will. We're talking about newborns. And I honestly forgot a lot. I know you were saying you don't remember a lot of
Is that annoying?
stuff.
No.
Sorry.
No, you're okay.
But,
I still know that's annoying for you.
Then I started to go back and I remembered, oh yeah, that was one of the hard, well, not the second one, but the first one was like one of the hardest times in my life. I mean, I don't know, I'm so nervous. You stared at me.
I know, it's so funny. I'm like, let's just stare off. It's just love cameras of us just all staring in different directions.
Well, okay, I was trying to say, or let's go in like topics. So first, obviously, you are so exhausted. You're delirious. How did your babies sleep?
Well, you want to go first?
Sure. So Eva was awful. From the start, literally up every hour. Eric and I did shifts because she would not lay in a bassinet, in a swing. And I mean, we tried everything, no rules. We were just surviving. And I remember we would do like a couple hours where we would have the baby and then the other could sleep and then switch off. And it was crazy. It was like I had zero sleep until 4 months and Kristen gave me that book. And it was great after that. But like, that delirious tiredness was
But do you think
awful.
it would have worked before 4 months?
No.
I don't think it would have worked. Like, I don't think you could do that to like a 3-month-old or
Right.
3-week-old
I mean, I
baby.
know people have done it at 6 weeks.
That's
Not that same
insane.
thing, but they've done.
Right, well, statistically,
training.
are they going to be a psycho when they're older? You know, because they were like
yeah,
thrown away. Because I mean, the thing is, like, when you're tired, just putting the baby away and like walking away, and it's like defeating that maternal instinct.
yes,
You were so tired, like you just
Yeah.
need to go away,
Yeah.
right? Or you're gonna shake the baby,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But I think that in a sane mind, doing it over and over to like a tiny, tiny baby, I think that is more of like society telling you that you're supposed to
Yeah.
do this more than like.
well,
you
and
need
they're
to.
just
Yeah.
they're so tiny,
They're
and they're
so
they're
little,
fresh out of the
yeah.
womb. It's like I know, but I didn't know what I was doing.
And they eat
Nobody
so
knows me.
Yeah.
often too.
Yeah,
That's
And
why
that-
I wake up
yes.
so much. It's just like
and then that
eat,
cluster
sleep,
feeding.
eat, sleep, eat, sleep, eat, sleep.
And I truly felt like I didn't know what I was doing at all. Like I thought that they just you feed them and they go to sleep for 4 hours and then no, like it was just constant. And then there's the other thing, it's the feeding.
Mhm.
So I know. Did you have trouble with breastfeeding?
Yeah, I didn't really with Phoebe. I
Yeah.
did it for a couple weeks and then I pumped. I think up until 3 months. And
It's
then I just
so
didn't do
hard,
it.
and like
Yeah.
nobody talked to me.
But
about
I was
that.
also just like so like I didn't want anybody on me. I was just over
Yeah.
the whole thing. And
Stimulation.
then I loved doing it with Declan Thompson.
yeah,
And it was easy. It was like not even a problem. It was just easy. But if it was hard, I don't know if I would have just, kept doing it.
yeah.
Because I mean, I think it should be easy. If it's hard, it's
But
like
that's
it's
what I
a
don't
problem.
understand. Because everyone I talk to at least has some sort of usually an issue. But then it's like, what are people doing in the jungle? It's like if that baby doesn't latch, they die.
Well, they have the other mom there. I feel like they
True.
probably have
Their
a
village.
community lady that's it just worked. Like Kristen would have been the
Nipple fix.
community lady. Yeah.
Somebody tried this.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
hanging low. The baby's probably just like,
Which one? Seriously. Yeah, mine hurt so bad. Her mouth was like this. With her stupid mouth, but not open. I did lactation consultants at home, at the hospital. I went to a chiropractor for her. It was awful. And then we couldn't tell how much weight she was gaining. And then she was losing weight.
you
and
bought a
then
scale.
I bought the scale. And then it was awful. And it hurt so bad where I would cry every time before. And then Kristen, just the breastfeeding goddess, where it was just so easy, where I'm like, why won't it work? And then 6 weeks.
Maybe boys are easier on it. I don't know.
Maybe.
No, God, no.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
6 weeks is when she finally latched and it didn't hurt. And I was literally about to give up. that day. So
Yeah. Man, that pain of latching, you're just
it
like,
hurts so bad. Yeah, I would have like a stress ball.
Yeah.
And I'm just bleeding.
Yeah.
Oh,
I never
it's like
bled, but I just felt like somebody was giving me the most intense nipple twister.
It's hard to explain.
And you're just
It's
like, and you just have to sit there and you're like,
and
then
they're
eventually just goes
continuously
numb,
going.
and you're like, oh, it's numb, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like being in cold water. It's like really
Yeah.
painful, but it's numb. Yeah.
And then you know that they have to do it like 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
And then talk about your experience.
Well, he wouldn't latch. And he had a
Did he have a tongue tie?
He had
Yeah.
a tongue and a lip tie. And apparently a weak chin, because I have a weak chin, so apparently he has a weak chin. So he had that fixed, but that didn't do anything. So
and did they know that they had the lip tie in the hospital, or did you find that out
No,
later?
because I had lactation consultants, so,
Yeah.
come and see him and stuff, and she said that he might, but you can't. You have to, I don't know, she need, like a doctor or something has to look. Like they don't know, like they
That's
don't
what
look at
I
that
think
stuff.
that they need to know that in the hospital. Because I wonder if Eva had one. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know until
Yeah.
you went to a
Yeah,
dentist.
Do they
and you have
grow
to see
out?
how they eat and stuff too. And I remember when I went to, she said the way he's eating and like how he's not like staying on to like he might, but so I had to go to a pediatric dentist, Dr. King in Oviedo is the
Oh,
best.
yeah. I went to him too. He rhymes.
Yeah,
Like
he's
Dr.
really cool.
Seuss. Yeah.
Yeah, he's redhead too. The
Yeah.
first thing he said to me, he's like, oh, fellow redhead. But anyway, yeah, he looked at everything. It was like, yep, he's got a tongue and a lip tie. And then they clipped both of them. Then they're in the office, and then yeah, but I didn't do anything. But I just pumped for the first 4 months. Just exclusively pumping is the worst fucking thing.
Yeah, so
in the whole. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
I-
Because you're
yeah.
doing like more work.
and I didn't know about the
pump-
supply that you lose your
Yeah.
supply that fast. I had no idea it was that like
Yeah.
crucial.
And so like, my supply was just like all over the place. Like I had an oversupply, and then I was like drying up, and then it would go back, and I literally had to pump like every 2 hours. And then when I would notice like I wouldn't get enough, then I would pump longer or like more often. And I forgot what it's called. Like you power pump.
Mhm.
Power pump.
Yeah, I had to do that a couple times.
Oh my god, it was terrible. So I did that all through the night. I didn't sleep either. Like
Yeah.
I was just pumping, and then he would wake up, of course, on the opposite time, or he would wake up at the same time I had to pump. So I'm feeding him and pumping at the same time. It is nothing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Eva, I had to pump when I was working in the hospital. And then so I was breastfeeding and pumping. And then I was trying to get a stash, which I would never do again. So
Yeah.
I was like pumping
Same.
and feeding 24/7. It was awful. I would never, new moms, just don't worry about your stash. Like
No.
that ruined my state of mind. Like,
Well, also, the interesting thing with the stash is your milk literally is constantly changing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if you're giving them milk from even 1 week before, it's different than what they actually need
And
in
it
that
lasts,
week.
what,
it
6
changes like when
months?
they're sick and
So,
stuff too.
yeah.
It'll
It
change.
changes. It
Yeah.
changes when you're sick,
Mhm.
and it's like it makes no sense. Yeah, for you to give like a 3-month-old like a 1-month-old stash, it would not be. They'll be more hungry because they're not getting
Yeah.
because you're producing more and
Yeah.
more protein in it.
But that's why I don't understand why people buy breast milk from some other random lady.
yeah,
Instead
I
of
think
not
that they
for
do
your
say
baby.
like what. I guess it wouldn't be an
But
age
it's not
at that
for
point,
their
right?
child too,
Yeah.
right? Isn't it
Yeah.
supposed to, I don't know.
It's because it's
Yeah.
your
I don't know.
like you're the one giving them like the antibodies and stuff, and
Yeah.
and even when they're sick, like your body, you're so connected that your body will produce what they need. If they have a low birth weight or something like that, you'll produce more fat.
Yeah.
I remember
That's
like
so cool.
like I remember seeing all these videos of like fat cats and stuff, and
Yeah.
because their baby needed more fat. I remember it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is so cool how, and it's like something with their saliva or something.
Yeah, it's like their
if they're-
saliva goes in your body
Yeah,
and like tells your body. I'm not exactly sure. I
wild.
remember watching a video
Yeah.
of it. And it was like boop 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 boop.
Whoa. And then it gives them what they need.
Yeah, it's like telling your body to do it. Yeah,
it's nuts.
yeah. Oh, so okay. So what are some statistics that you guys looked up? For
Oh, I
this?
just got the biggest.
So I
I
saw
didn't know we were all supposed to
the
do that.
average. Oh, it's all good.
I know,
I
yeah.
just
No,
looked
not
up a
too
bunch
many.
because I was like, I just looked- so it says the average in the U.S. is 10,000 babies born every day.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Do you know that babies are born with no kneecaps?
Yes, it
I
says
did not know that.
Well, I
What
didn't
did
know
I
that.
find
That's
out?
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get it at around 6 months. It starts developing, and then first it develops into like bone, and then it develops more into cartilage.
Yeah. At 3 years, it says a child's kneecap starts to turn bony at 3 years of age until they are made up of cartilage. I mean, this is just pure Google. I don't know if that's true.
Pure Google. Well, I looked up a different. I saw it on a couple different things.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I saw that the biggest baby, again, this is just random. I don't know if this is true, but weighed 16 pounds and measured 2 feet long, delivered via C-section.
Oh,
Said I
God.
felt like I had been hit by 2 tractor trailers simultaneously.
Well, I know like women that have gestational diabetes, their babies are bigger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that was something
16
going on.
pounds though. That
yeah,
is
that's
like.
that's significant.
I mean, that's
Maybe
a
she-
a
I'm trying to
Maybe
think.
might have
year-old
some
baby,
babies.
right?
Yeah.
Like
No
Yeah.
babies.
I mean, I think
And
Declan's like
long.
21
2 feet. That's
or
pretty long.
22 pounds, like, and
Really?
he's 2. Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. I read that babies when they lay on their back, only 15% of them will lay their heads to the left. And that it's
Really?
actually consistent with if they do lay their heads to the left, if that's where they prefer, it's more likely that they're going to be left-handed. Because only 10% of the population is left-handed.
And that early that they would just turn.
Yeah, it's like a genetic
left
thing.
Yeah.
Like it's
dominant.
because
But
like left dominant hands
Both
is a
my
genetic
parents
thing.
are left-handed, and both me and my brother are right. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I don't really know 2 lefties.
Well, they said just statistically, yeah. You know, a lot of people in engineering are
Your
left-handed.
dad?
Oh, so.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting about that.
What else you got?
That they have no bacteria in their guts when they're born. So they're
Really?
completely sterile.
They need some
Yeah.
kombucha.
Yeah, well, but them nursing or like getting
Yeah.
on your skin, that's what's colonizing it, or nipples on a baby bottle. But then also babies born via a C-section, their faces are not colonized with like the same bacteria from like the
Oh,
vagina,
yeah. When they
and
come
so
out.
they'll be colonized more with like hospital bacteria.
Mm,
There's connections to like long-term like gut health
issue.
issues with that opposed to
Ah.
like being colonized because it's basically like all over your body is like all this bacteria but not
Right.
necessarily bad bacteria,
Yeah.
just that's what's on the body.
Natural, and that's like how.
Yeah,
you
but it's
do-
like some of the first bacteria would be just simply like surgeons' hands
Yeah.
and air and just that kind of
I did not know there was 0
stuff.
gut bacteria.
yeah. But I mean, there would
I
where
don't
would
know,
it be?
yeah.
You know, it would have to have gone
I was just
through
thinking that
your amniotic
the
fluid, but your
placenta.
amniotic fluid is sterile.
That's true.
You're just in this little sterile bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, this crazy world.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so I mean, my newborn phase, I feel like I blocked out a lot of it. Phoebe didn't sleep well, but I don't think she was like a terrible
Yeah.
sleeper really. Dawson was not bad. Declan
Declan was
didn't.
bad.
Yeah,
He's
Declan.
right.
Yeah, Declan did not sleep. He also had jaundice, and we had to stay later, and he wasn't eating, but then I mean, all situated. But I mean, no, he did not sleep, and he did not
Yeah,
sleep
what
through the
was
night until
that?
he was 2.
2.
2. I mean,
How are you a regular person?
I was crazy,
What if it was
Jordan.
your
I was
first child,
legitimate.
though?
Yes. Oh, I know. I said if that was my first, I don't think I would have had more.
Yeah,
kids.
that's pretty. I
Because
remember
I threw
and you
up my
tried
whole
everything.
pregnancy. Then
Yeah,
I
that
had.
remember it.
I mean, the birth was fine.
Yeah.
But then he just had all of these things where he just was up. He was just never like settled. And I did he didn't like the swing. He didn't like
Mhm.
laying in a thing.
That
He
was
slept
like
with us
Eva.
in our room. Then we even tried putting him in his own room. Maybe he needed like
Mhm.
more quiet. I mean,
You
he just
tried
never
all the
slept.
sleep training. You tried everything. I remember.
I
You're like,
was
"Try this,"
all
and I
in
tried
on,
that.
Yeah, I tried all the things. And I mean, I tried them for a while too, but
Yeah.
I was also so delirious that I was just like, I remember just being in this like fog, but then I mean,
Yes.
it made me an awful human. Like it was,
I mean,
I think
yeah.
just so much of it was simply just, I was so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you knew like every night. It's not like, oh, some nights he's good.
Oh my
some
God, I
nights
would
he's
have
bad.
so much anxiety
Yeah.
before like bedtime
Mm-hmm.
because I was just like, I'm not going to sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, Elliot would kind of help, but I was nursing. And
Mhm.
then, I mean, he works, and so there was plenty of times that he just, like, took over because I just was tired, and I couldn't do it. But I also wanted him to be,
You
like,
should have gotten
more
one of those
super-
called night doulas, night nurses.
Yeah.
night nurses.
Yeah.
I know. We have a friend that had one that didn't even have a baby that they're just very wealthy.
Yeah,
And they had
Just
one.
couldn't do it.
She was like, oh, you need this.
I do.
I'm like, that would be cool. You also have like a random person in your house. It's not
Yeah.
even the same person. It's
It's
like
not
you
a
hire a
person.
company and then she
That's weird.
she
Yeah.
would just be.
I don't know how
Yeah.
I feel about that.
I know. There's a movie about that, isn't it? What's her name?
I think out of everybody, I would hire Kristen and feel
Yeah.
the least weird.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
would just be
absolutely.
like, she'd probably just be like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just laying there like laid up. And she's like, "It's-
That would be a good job for
put
her.
a blanket on, Shayna. You're
Go
fine.
to
Take the
sleep.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's wild ride.
I don't like newborns. I don't.
Yeah, I
like
think
a
we all
baby.
can agree on that.
Yeah.
Most
I
of
don't
a lot
like
of people I know are
newborn
like
stage.
they're the best,
No.
and I'm like, oh, but
I mean,
they
it's-
just don't do anything, and then you have to just take full care of them. Like there's no reward, you know. They're just like
Yeah.
blind little mole
Yeah.
rats, and then
Yeah.
you have to just keep them
And then
alive.
they cry all the time, and I feel
Nothing
like
makes them happy.
yeah, like there's no you can't feel as connected.
Yes.
I feel like it's just not. It's hard,
It's just surviving.
Yeah.
You're surviving because you don't know
and
what
you're
doing.
freshly like just birthed a
Yeah.
melon.
Healing. I
Very
know.
healing.
You're like
Like,
healing.
yeah.
And then you don't really have,
No,
unless you
there's
really
no
do have
rest.
people
Yeah.
helping you. It's not like friends helping.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
unless you had like legitimate family truly helping,
Mm-hmm.
then you're just kind of like healing on your own and you're tired and you're just trucking through it. And then you add more kids to it.
Yeah. I can't.
it's
Oh,
like-
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But at least the second round, you're less pain. It's less painful.
it's definitely less
hopefully.
painful birth wise.
Yeah.
But
Like I
it's-
couldn't even sit. I was just like it was awful. I'm like, how am I supposed to? And then Eva wouldn't let me sit. She was the one where I had to rock like a crazy person, no swing, nothing. I had to stand, but then when I really wanted to sit, I couldn't because my.
Maybe you were
freaking-
like really active when you were pregnant.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
They're like, you were going everywhere. You were walking around Disney, and I'm like,
Should have been lazier.
I know.
Recording?
Yes.
What are bitches doing? Put your hands up.
Elliot, stop! Jeez. Do you want to come in here?
Keep that in. Roll that in.
I'm gonna keep.
We
Roll
don't
it
know
in.
how to edit, Elliot.
Put it in. Okay. I was gonna say, do you know what a tape measure is?
I'm gonna cut you.
Tape measures on.
I gotta measure Phoebe's arms. I know what.
I feel like this is something that literally does not have to be done right this second.
If you know where it is.
We're gonna make an episode
It's
about
probably in
dads
the
and
garage.
their incompetence.
There you go.
Where's the? Also,
Tape
where's
measure?
I'm the man in our relationship.
No, I
He's
know.
like, where's our tape measure?
Where's the drill?
Where's the drill? How do I mean, there was 2 times that he was
That's funny.
drilling with the drill going the wrong way. And he's like, it's not
Oh my
working.
God,
I was
that's
like,
funny.
it's in reverse.
Try the reverse. Put in reverse.
That's pretty funny.
That is funny.
Yes.
That's actually.
Good job. Good job, baby.
What you were just talking about.
I just can't
Uh,
sit.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah, that you were really active and.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
I just remember like the first was it a week? I don't know. Like where you can't even like stand up straight. You remember
Yeah,
like getting in the
it's the
shower and you're
crunch,
like you're
the
like
hunch.
old like and you're just like oh my god.
And
like,
you got to
your
get
whole
all your
body-
apparatuses with squeeze ball.
Yeah.
I felt like
oh
I
my
was,
god,
like,
do they
running
all
on
have
a-
fairy care
Yeah.
after? Oh, it's
And then they're
terrible.
crying, and then you're like, oh,
Yeah.
hold on.
I felt like I was
Just
running on
crying all
adrenaline
the
in
time.
the hospital. I got out of the hospital and I took a walk outside.
Yeah.
I remember with Phoebe. And then I remember
Willingly?
coming home and then I was just like then it all kind of hit me.
Yeah.
And then I was
Yeah.
sore. But I felt like in the actual hospital, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just
Do you know
like-
I learned about the dinner plate thing, the second kid? Like, I didn't know that we have a dinner plate wound where our.
Oh
Placentas?
yeah, and it has to close down.
But just like, I didn't understand that we had, like, the placenta ripped out of our
yeah.
body and we had this gaping wound.
Yeah.
Because every
Oh,
time they're like,
yeah, I
you can't
guess.
do this, you can't do that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm fine. And they're like, no, you could literally, like, hemorrhage.
Bleed out, yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
didn't even. Did you just learn this?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah. Because they always.
Dinner plate.
Dinner plate. Now I was like, and I would say that to Eric. I'm like, Eric,
I have a dinner plate wound!
go get those children. I need to rest.
Dinner plate wound needs to rest.
Crazy. And then another thing, I mean, you definitely, or both of us, you were in RSV season. I was COVID,
Yeah.
fresh out. Is just like, you're so scared they're gonna get sick.
Mhm.
You're so scared they're just gonna, I don't know, like mine was fresh in the COVID season, and I'm like, what do I do with this thing? Everyone's
I
telling
know
me.
when you're so social, so
Yeah,
it's
so
like
it killed me. I was pure, like me and Eric were just surviving on our own. We'd get like little visits or like waves.
Yeah.
But like
I
we
showed
were
up
in the
a,
trenches.
Me and Brian showed up in a gown.
A hazmat suit.
Yeah. Totally.
I love that you
Because I was
guys
only
tried,
I was
though.
no, you were
Yeah.
working in the
Yeah.
hospital, so I didn't want to. We didn't know. With
Sure,
COVID.
of course,
it's
but
so
I love
early.
that you just like still wanted to. You know,
Yeah.
people would have been like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Maxed up everything.
It was so sad.
Yeah. Iconic picture though.
Yeah, I know. Especially in
That's
the
funny.
school books.
you
Yeah.
need- yes.
Yeah. Textbooks. Nursing textbooks.
Yeah.
My sister was there for all 3 births.
Yeah.
My mom was
That's
there for
pretty cool.
2 of them. My
Like
mom didn't
during?
live here. Yeah,
That's
she
pretty
wanted
cool.
to. I know.
I'm gonna be in the next one.
Well, you are.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are doing.
I was like, I'm
With
in.
you, babe.
No, but you know, jokes. Like I actually thought about that. I'm not kidding. Like I 1,000% thought about that.
It's funny
My mom
because
would be
then
like-
also like you have a buddy. You
Well, she
you have a
could
fun
too.
buddy,
That's
and then
true.
Brian has a buddy. You
Yeah.
know, it's like because when stuff is like going down, it's
Well, I wanted everybody. Eric said next kid. I was like, I know what that means because I said no more kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really-
Yeah, you'll be in it, and my mom will be there too. I think that would be actually
Yeah.
pretty cool.
yeah.
I would literally have
It's
everybody.
it's like
Yeah.
I mean having a sister.
I didn't have a
she's
choice
your
the first
sister.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
Kristen had literally everybody, all of her family. I think that like the whole. I think this.
Her dad's like
It's
making
nuts.
jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how boys are made.
Yeah. Cigars. It's
You
like
know how
handing
this
out
baby
vape
was
pens.
made.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that.
Oh yeah, I can see that. That's funny.
It's just newborns are. Yeah, I don't. The second one, I think you definitely enjoy way more though, because like you'll want to be around the newborn rather than the toddler. It's just like they're so still. You forget about the stillness.
Yeah.
It's like how you saw it at the RJ.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Just
It
laying
makes you
there.
kind of
And you just
miss it.
lay
You're like,
there
Yeah.
oh, wow.
and they stay
Yes.
there. That's
Yeah.
fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you see them out, you see them all quiet and sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at home, they're
Packed
probably,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. I read that they're actually awake and alert 3 minutes per hour until like 5 months or 6 months. I think.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
there's how long they should sleep was like crazy, wasn't it? Like
It's like their entire
19
day.
hours or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like barely.
Well, and they can
Yeah.
stop breathing for 10 to 15 seconds, and it's not like a problem, but it's like obviously terrifying if you were noticing it.
Yeah.
But that they
Oh, I
just
I-
can't,
Yeah,
and they just do.
I think
Yeah.
Eric was more worried about that. Like, are they breathing?
Yeah.
I kind of was like, I don't have a brain right now, so I hope.
And a lot of SIDS though is like people having polluted air, like smoking in the air. It's heavy,
Yeah.
like there's particulates
Like
in
they
the
can't
air.
breathe it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
can't-
or there's stuff in their crib. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like the obvious
That
stuff.
I
But
knew,
it's like if
yeah.
you didn't have any of that stuff, a lot of it is like polluted air. So I mean, in a lot of developing countries, they're burning wood
Yeah.
as a source of heat, and
Right.
so, or cooking or whatever. So you have all these particulates in the air.
That's
Yeah.
People that smoke cigarettes, you have all those
Yeah.
particulates in the air, and then they tell you to have some kind of fan or moving
Yes.
air.
Yeah.
So it's just like
And they don't have.
That's
it.
probably why
polluted,
they ask
dirty
me all
air.
those questions, like at the pediatric appointments. I always
Yeah.
ask every single appointment to this day. They're like, "How is your house built before 19 something?"
The lead?
And,
Yeah.
and do you have like lead paint walls? And they just ask me all
Oh.
this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like,
not.
I keep asking this. Like, no,
I
I
never
I'm
never
not
agree.
eating the
Yeah.
windowsills. They're like, well, your baby might eat the windowsills.
That's
So yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of those like old windows do. They have lead paint in them. When I used to work at that repurposed furniture store, you know, it was the era of people hanging windows in their house, like, you know, those repurposed windows.
Yeah.
We have to like test all of them, and so many of them would have lead paint.
Well, where would I look at my windows?
Your windows don't have.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
it's like
no.
before 19.
Yeah, that's what they
Oh,
ask.
okay,
Because
okay.
then you have all.
No, it was like the 60s and
asbestos.
70s. They literally put lead and asbestos in everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like everything, like
Yeah.
in all paints, walls, everything. They were just like, because it was excess byproducts and stuff, and they were just like, chuck it in.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
Yeah, that's unleaded gas. You know about that?
Yeah.
Unleaded gas.
Oh,
It like
yeah.
lowered like an entire generation's IQ because all of this lead was in the air,
Right.
and you were
That
like
makes
breathing
sense.
it.
Now
Now
we
we
got
have unleaded.
plastics.
Now we have unleaded gas.
Yeah.
Yes, now we have the plastics.
Yeah, the microplastics everywhere.
Cool. All right, anything else?
Anything
with
else about
newborns?
newborns? No.
I really
Do
think
you
that,
recommend? No.
Yeah.
I
I
feel like it's a
recommend-
big
I think,
blur,
yeah.
too, you know.
I think
I
the
think that's
first
how
one
you
is
just
awful.
keep doing it. Is it's
yeah,
like
you forget
You
it
forget.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will
I
say
wrote
with
it down,
Declan,
that's why-
I soaked. Even if I was so tired, I literally remember staring at him, and I remember being like, "This is gonna go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget." And I remember, and
Yeah.
it's like even still, I still feel like I'm forgetting it, but I
Mhm.
do consciously remember staring and being like,
I need to
"Look
take
at his
this
little
in.
face."
Mhm.
Yeah.
I remember sitting there
Their
and
feet.
nursing him, and I would be
Yeah.
like, I feel like with Dawson, I would be on my phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to be on my phone. So I wouldn't even bring the phone in the room. I would be like just in there. I just like wanted to just experience the whole thing. But I mean,
Yeah.
it took me 3 to get to like actually
Yeah.
consciously.
But did you
caring.
think you were actually? You didn't think you were done it too, did you?
I didn't know.
Okay.
I know now
Yeah.
that I'm
yeah.
not going to have any more kids.
But that's how
so,
I feel. I
yeah.
feel like too with Nora. Like everything, I'm like, oh, this is like
Yeah.
this last stage, or I'm taking this in.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like at Dawson, you knew, like, oh, another one.
Yeah. It was not like off the table or on the table. I remember my tally.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
You
had
had
our
it.
tallies. And then I just got pregnant.
Yeah.
So I was like,
How
the
many do you have
tallies
in
said
the pro
no.
column?
Yes. But, I mean, because he was 3. He was just in a hard age.
Yeah.
But it was, actually, no, he was like 2-ish. But, yeah. But no, surprise.
Yeah.
Taking your temperature for birth control does not work.
I still don't know how to do
PSA.
that. So.
It does not work. It's the Amish way. Clearly, they have a lot
Right.
of kids. Like,
Yeah.
it's not work.
It's not
Yes.
effective.
Because they can't use contraceptives.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like they take their temperature.
Yeah.
And that's trash. I followed it absolutely to the T. I have a super regular period and I got pregnant. So
Yeah. I feel like that's more so like the opposite. Like, because you test your basal temperature for like ovulation, but like, like semen could stay inside you for 5 days.
it's just
I remember
it's
learning that, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, what?
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
a long time."
I know. But like are
So
the
you
good
can-
ones there at day 5? Are you
Yeah,
getting pregnant with
that-
the,
I mean,
the
Yeah,
reject?
right.
Never
What's
know.
those 5-day-old guys? Get out of there.
Or they're the
Die.
survivors.
Yeah,
Yeah, the good
that's
ones.
true,
Yes.
that's true. Or are they just old and barely moving?
They just lasted.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like expired.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out.
Yeah. All right. Well, yes, newborns.
Newborns.
Cheers.
You'll be our next one with them.
Yes, I know. We're all done.
Yeah.
You'll be the fresh take.
Oh,
One
yeah.
day
I
you'll
wanna-
be here
I
and
wanna
you'll be all
hold him.
pregnant, and we'll still be
Yep.
drinking wine, and then.
And she probably will too.
You're
allowed to have it.
And then, but we'll put you right in the middle. We'll get you a nice
Yeah.
spot, all the
And you'll just
cozy
hold
feet
him
up.
rest belly.
We'll just like fan you
Yeah.
and.
I'll just get like the massage chairs. And just
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
We'll get you a special-